Hello everyone, this is Hidayat Shahid. I am your lab instructor for ENGR1025U. In this video, I will walk you through your learning module 3A. Before going over anything else, I would like to acknowledge most of the work for this lab manual was completed by one of the graduate students who was supported by Dr. Eamon Popiliev. There are others who have contributed over the time to develop this lab content. So I just wanted to acknowledge that. Now let's have a look at your lab. Um, in this lab exercise, you will continue to practice your design skills using various SOLIDWORKS tools. You will create 2D sketches, then you will convert them into 3D models by using extrude, cut, revolve, pattern, sweep, etc. features. And then you will do 3D assembly with the part files that you're going to create. And then you will be adding the mates and relationships to define the relationship between the two various components of your assembly. Um, I would also like to point out that this lab manual is provided you only a brief or basic guide. You have already developed some skills that you should have no problem completing this lab on your own. I am creating these videos just in case if you're stuck somewhere that you can use the videos to complete your lab work. So in this lab, the objective of this lab exercise is that you're going to design a small cabinet which will be mounted on the cabinet that you have created in Learning Module 2, and also the one that you were modifying for your mini design project 2. As you may have noticed, I just want to point out that in the lab 2, we created a cabinet. Typically, if you look at the practical cabinets, they're not designed in this fashion. This lab exercises, including 3A, the 3B, and lab module 2, they were designed in a way that to just give you some experience for practicing SolidWorks skills. In practice, the cabinet shelves are designed differently. They're designed with the smaller panels, which are put together by different means. So now you're getting into a stage along with the course that knowledge you have gained. Anything that you design, you will follow you will pay a lot of attention to your design intent. And the same way what you do is when you're doing any CAD work, when you're doing CAD modeling, you always look at your design, how it's going to be fabricated and assembled, and then you will create your designs based on that. And also some of the time that when you do the computer design work, you have to do some simulation work, so you will prepare the models accordingly. So, and a lot of components that we are also asking you to design in lab 2 and lab 3, such as pins and others. Those type of things are normally standard parts. Those components normally you don't design unless it's a really special application. So now I will move along. In this lab, basically what you're doing is you're designing this small cabinet which will be mounted on your mini design project 2 cabinet on top of it. The differences are very subtle. This is almost half size of the other cabinet that we designed, but the components are more or less the same. The only new components which are added is these shelves and the supporting. There are some brackets, shelf supports which you're designing that you will be using for this lab and also in your mini design project 3. Um, so having said that, one thing I would wanted to point out, you could also modify your cabinet from your lab 2 and resize it if you are comfortable to do so, but make sure you don't delete the cabinet that you have created. So you may want to copy. If I were to do practical design, that's what I will be doing. However, for the purpose of this video, I will just follow the lab manual. So the first part is here. It's a cabinet shell, which has holes. The holes are separated with 50 millimeters distance between them. The other features are more or less similar as what you did in lab 2. So I will basically go over the process. This is the cabinet shell support that you will be designing in this lab exercise. There are many ways of creating it, but I will just create one way which will be the fastest, and this is basic shelf that you will be designing. And then there's the door, and the next one is basically this is the flat bracket. This one you will use to secure the two cabinets which you will be doing work in your mini design project 3. Okay, now I'm going to start making the files. The first thing first, I'm going to change I have opened up a new part file, and I'm going to set the unit sets mmgs, and I'm going to save this file as, and I'm going to get out of this lab 2 folder. I'm going to create a new folder, and I'm going to call it your student ID lab 3. So I will be saving all the parts in there, and I'm going to call it this part as your student ID T underscore lab 3 small cabinet shell. That's what I'm going to call it, name it, and that's it. I'm going to go to the top plane, and I'm going to right click on it. I'm going to look normal to it, and I'm going to draw a sketch by using center rectangle, and I'm going to start from the middle, click there, move it outwards, and then click there. Next, I'm going to add the dimensions. This dimension is 600, and this dimension is 400. And I am going to go to the feature tab. I'm going to extrude it by 600 millimeters. And I'm going to click OK. Now I'm going to go on the side face, and I'm going to look normal to it. And before doing that, I'm going to shell this one out. And I'm going to go to the feature tab, and I'm going to use the shell feature. And I have already selected the face. And the thickness, I'm going to keep it, the distance or the depth, I'm going to specify as 50 millimeters. So this is done. So now I'm going to right click on it, and I'm going to look normal to it. So this side is the opening side. So I'm going to add 4 holes along this where the hinges will be mounted. So to do that, I'm going to click on sketch, and I'm going to drop in 4 circles, and then I'm gonna basically make them equal to each other. And to do that, if you remember, press the control and hold it down, the key, click on this one, click on this one, click on this one. So these 4 arcs have been selected. I'm gonna make them equal, and for now I'm just gonna set the diameter as let's say 20, which I will change to 5 at the end. Now I'm gonna add the dimensions from here, to sorry, and I'm gonna add the dimension by selecting this, selecting that. This dimension is 25, so I'm gonna click OK. I'm gonna repeat same thing, 25, 25, 25 from here to here, and the distance is 100 millimeters. Between these two, the distance is 30 millimeters. If and the between this and this one, I'm gonna select this. The distance is 340 millimeters. Between these two, it's 30. And now I'm gonna change this diameter to 5, so that this way I didn't have to zoom in, and that's the whole reason I had given a larger diameter at the beginning. So now I'm gonna click OK. I'm gonna go to feature, and I'm gonna go extruded cut, and I'm gonna do through all holes. Click. So these holes are added. So the next thing is I'm gonna add the holes on this wall, on this wall. Similar as the lab 2, I'm gonna draw something on the my 2D sketch on this middle plane. Right click, I'm gonna look normal to it, and I'm gonna go to sketch tab. I'm gonna sketch 2 circles. I'm gonna drop it there, and I'm gonna drop it there. The distance between these two is 250 millimeters center to center. From here, oops, okay, escape. I'm gonna basically escape. I'm gonna delete this one. Okay, I will just drop it in there. I will just change it later. Okay, I'm gonna select this, and I'm gonna select that. Oh, and then this distance is 130 millimeters, and same thing here, 130. Perfect. And now I'm gonna set this one as 5 millimeters, this one as 5 millimeters. The only thing that I need to add is between this and this, center to center distance is 30 millimeters. So everything should shift close to inside. So I have done that, and I'm gonna exit Smart Dimension. As you can see, my sketches are drawn in the middle plane. Now I'm gonna do a cut. I'm gonna go to Feature tab, then Extruded Cut, and I'm gonna select the direction from mid plane, and the distance that I'm gonna set for this cut is, it's 550. So those holes have been added now. Now I'm gonna use linear pattern to copy those holes into this direction. So the direction, I'm going to specify this, and the distance between them is 50 millimeters. Then I'm going to switch the direction. The number of instants is basically 8. And I'm going to click OK. So this completes your small cabinet shell.